Hi everyone, welcome to Lunch Hour Lessons with Allison. I'm Allison Mädl and today is January 16th, 2019. Every week I come to you live to introduce a topic that I think is interesting relating to nutrition and health and give you a lesson to take with you into your daily life. If you like what you hear, be sure to comment while you're watching live or afterwards, and you can also like my Facebook page to make sure that you get all the next videos coming up. Right after the broadcast, I also post a transcript, which is just basically an outline of what I'm talking about right now on my blog at allisonmadel.com. So you can go check it out. And that's also a great place to share these lessons with others. So today is our third in the three-part series that I've been doing on heartburn, antacids, and your digestion. So this is part 3. In part 1, we talked about conditions like heartburn and GERD and brought to light the dangers in some of the common treatments. Last week, we covered how the stomach and digestion is supposed to work and what can happen if it goes wrong. And if you haven't heard those episodes, you should go back and watch them kind of so you understand the why as to the things that I'm going to be recommending today. I will give some practical steps that you can take to maximize the acidity of your stomach and nutrient absorption. So, before we get started on that list of the things that you can do, why might our stomachs not produce enough stomach acid? So it's more than anything related to our common go, go, go lifestyle. The body in this state is just not given the signal that it's time to rest and digest a meal. Instead, it's in what we call fight or flight mode. And fight or flight mode is a situation in the body where a lot of blood flow is diverted to our extremities so we could run away, say from a tiger maybe that's fighting us. It's a very primitive instinct. But the problem is that we are in fight or flight mode a lot of our lives, whether we're in traffic and we're battling the rain that's been happening a lot here in Southern California, or we have meetings upon meetings, and we often have to just eat while that's going on. And the body just frankly won't produce very much stomach acid during that time because it just doesn't know that it's time to eat. Usually when people eat, a lot of cultures have had situations where there's traditions around eating. So we'll come together all together and sit down, maybe say grace or just say thanks for the meal. And that really sets us up for a state of calm eating. So along with the chronic stress that I just talked about, there are other factors like aging. Aging basically means that the stomach acid production is going to go down as we age. So that is just a fact of life. A poor diet can also cause stomach acid to be produced less, maybe processed foods or not enough water, or to hydrate those cells of the stomach that are going to actually produce the stomach acid. And it is a liquid, so we need enough water to make sure that we're producing enough stomach acid. Also, overuse of antibiotics can damage the stomach, as well as non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen can also be hard on the lining of the stomach. So the last thing is food intolerances. If you're allergic or sensitive to certain foods, actually the body won't produce enough stomach acid because it doesn't want to digest those foods and get it into the body. So because these factors are also common, even if you don't have noticeable stomach discomfort, it's still possible that the stomach acid may be low. So the trick is really to optimize the acidic nature of the stomach, and here's a few things that can help. So the first is to always eat in a calm, rested state. So you want to minimize multitasking. Watching a fun video or reading a calming book is totally fine and appropriate, but what we want is not to be very diverted from a rested state. So that's what I mean by minimize multitasking. Drink half your body weight in ounces of water every day. So that would be like if you weighed 150 pounds or 130 pounds, if you weighed 130, you're going to drink about 65 ounces of water a day. And that's a half a gallon. So that ensures proper hydration and support of the mucus lining of the stomach. The other thing you can do before you eat meals is to drink a half a teaspoon of raw apple cider vinegar in 6 ounces of water before each meal. It's kind of like just shoot it back like a chaser, and that acidity will help bring up the acidity in the stomach to digest the food. It also has a lot of enzymes too. Another thing besides the apple cider vinegar that I also like is digestive bitters in a tonic. So you can sip a small amount of digestive bitters before a meal. And Urban Moonshine is a brand that I like. I don't sell for them or anything, but I do like their products. And so that is a good one. You can supplement with hydrochloric acid or stomach acid. There are stomach acid supplements. I recommend a line called Biotics Research Products, which are professional lines, and they have a product called Hydrozyme, which has enzymes, digestive enzymes, and hydrochloric acid. But you can also get HCl, usually it's called HCl with pepsin in the health food stores, and that can be really helpful for some people. I just want to say, though, if you're starting to supplement with hydrochloric acid, it's important to kind of wean yourself into it to see how much you need, and that's called the HCl challenge. So you take 1 capsule with each meal on the first day, see how you feel. If you don't notice any burning or kind of warming sensation in the stomach, then on the second day, you take 2 capsules with each meal, and you kind of dose up like that until you feel that warming sensation. Then go back to the dose that was comfortable. So if you go up to 2 a day, and it's like, oh, it's a little burning, then back it down to 1 a day, and you're good to go. So those who have GERD or heartburn for a long time are going to need to heal their esophagus and stomach lining before jumping into like hydrochloric acid, specifically supplementation. It's totally appropriate for GERD and heartburn to take apple cider vinegar or bitters because those are just gentler, but we wouldn't want to take actual acidity into the stomach in terms of hydrochloric acid if that lining is so damaged with ulcers or something like that. So there's important nutrients and dietary strategies that can really quickly heal this part of the digestive system. So it's really beyond the scope of this lesson to explain, but if it appeals to you, you can contact me if you'd like to know more information. So that's all the time we have for today. I hope I provided some useful tips. Be sure to tell a friend this week's lunch hour lesson, which is, it's worth the effort to optimize the acidity in your stomach. It's worth the effort to optimize the acidity in your stomach. Like my page to get the weekend tip that comes out on Saturday morning, and that's all for now. Bye-bye.